The news you have been waiting for is finally here. Season 5 of The Chosen is not just coming, it is completely free to watch. No hidden charges, no subscriptions, no limits. For millions of fans around the world, this is more than just an announcement. It is a moment that feels like a reward for years of waiting, supporting, and believing in a project that changed television forever. When The Chosen first appeared, nobody expected it to become the global phenomenon it is today. It started small, a project fueled by faith and a handful of determined creators who wanted to tell a story that mattered. They had no giant studio behind them, no endless marketing machine, just the desire to bring the life and teachings of Jesus to the screen in a way that felt real and human. From the very beginning, fans were not just viewers, they were part of the journey. They funded it, shared it, and made sure the world knew about it. What made The Chosen different was its heart. Every episode felt alive with emotion, capturing the struggles of the characters in ways that touched both believers and non-believers alike. It did not feel like a typical show with actors reading lines. It felt personal. It felt raw. It felt like you were walking the dusty roads with the disciples, watching moments of faith unfold with your own eyes. That authenticity is what drew people in, and slowly but surely, the show exploded into a cultural movement. Across continents, people began watching. Subtitles in dozens of languages made it accessible for families from Brazil to South Korea, from Kenya to Pakistan. Churches streamed it during gatherings. Families watched it together in their living rooms, and strangers online found themselves discussing every new episode like it was a world event. The series became more than entertainment. It became an experience that people carried in their hearts. Season after season, the demand grew. Each new release felt bigger than the last, with social media buzzing and fan groups counting down the days. When Season 4 ended, the anticipation for what would come next was impossible to ignore. Fans wanted to know when the story would continue, how the next chapter would unfold, and where they could watch it. The wait was long, but today that wait is finally over, and here is the part that makes this announcement unforgettable. Season 5 is not locked behind expensive streaming services. It is not hidden behind monthly subscriptions. It is open to everyone, completely free. The same show that started as a small dream has now reached a point where it can be shared with the whole world without barriers. This is more than generosity, it is a promise kept to every fan who believed from the beginning. So as you hear these words, remember this. The Chosen Season 5 is waiting for you. It is not just another release on a crowded streaming platform. It is a continuation of a story that belongs to millions, a story that brings people together across cultures, languages, and borders. And now, that story is yours to watch, yours to share, yours to feel, completely free. The wait is over, the whispers are true, and the promise has finally been kept. Season 5 of The Chosen is now free for everyone, everywhere. This is not a limited trial or a hidden catch. It is a gift placed directly in the hands of every fan who has carried this series in their heart. You do not need a subscription. You do not need to search through endless paywalls. All you need is your screen, your time, and your willingness to watch. Think about how rare that is in today's world. Entertainment has become expensive. Streaming platforms multiply every year, and every new release usually demands another payment. Yet here stands The Chosen, a series built by its audience and for its audience, opening its doors wider than ever before. The creators could have chosen profit over people, but instead they chose generosity, faith, and connection. The big announcement is more than just a headline. It is a statement about what storytelling should be. It is about sharing hope without asking for a price. It is about building a community where everyone can belong regardless of where they live or how much they can afford. This is why Season 5 being free is not just exciting news, it is historic. Imagine families gathering together without worrying about money. Imagine a viewer in a small village who can now watch the same story as someone in a busy city halfway across the world. Imagine teenagers discovering the series for the first time and realizing they are part of something bigger than themselves. This is what free truly means here. It means no walls, no divisions, only open access to a story that carries power, meaning, and emotion. The creators of The Chosen know the responsibility they carry. They know millions of people are waiting for each new chapter, and they understand that stories like these should not be locked away. That is why this moment feels like a gift, not just to viewers, but to the idea of storytelling itself. It proves that the greatest impact does not come from charging the highest price. It comes from reaching the widest audience. So let this announcement sink in. You do not have to wait for someone else to tell you what happens in Season 5. You do not have to read reviews or summaries online while wishing you could see it yourself. The power is now in your hands. Open your screen, press play, and step back into the world you have been longing to return to. Season 5 is here, it is free, and it is ready for you to experience in full. This is more than a season release. It is a reminder of why stories like The Chosen exist in the first place. In a world where entertainment is often locked behind a price tag, this show has chosen to break the rules. It has chosen to put people before profit, community before competition, and meaning before money. That choice matters because it sets a new standard. It proves that powerful stories can reach the widest audience when barriers are removed. Season 5. Being free is not just about access, it is about impact. Think of a young viewer in a small town who never imagined they would be able to follow the journey without paying for streaming services. Think of families who may not have the extra income for subscriptions, but can now gather together in their living rooms, watching each episode as if it was made just for them. Think of people across different cultures and languages who may feel far apart, but now share the same story at the same time. That is unity. And that is why this moment is special. This decision matters because The Chosen has always been about connection. It was born from the idea that a story told with honesty and faith could reach across every border and every background. Making Season 5 free continues that mission. It ensures that no matter where you live or what your circumstances are, you are part of this journey. It tells you that your presence matters as much as anyone else's. There is also a deeper meaning. The creators know that when you take away financial barriers, you invite more people into the message itself. Every episode is not just entertainment. It carries lessons about hope, faith, sacrifice, and love. Those lessons are more powerful when they are not restricted to a select few but shared with millions. That is how movements grow. That is how stories turn into something bigger than the screen. Why this matters is simple. The Chosen is not treating its audience like customers. It is treating them like a family that stretches across the world, made up of people who are hungry for meaning and connection. Season 5 being free is proof that this family is valued, respected, and trusted. It is proof that stories can be more than business. They can be bridges between hearts. So when you hear that Season 5 is free, do not think of it as just another streaming update. Think of it as a gift, a statement, a promise that you are seen and included. This matters because it shows that the power of a story lies not in how much it costs, but in how deeply it touches the lives of those who watch it. Season 5 is not just another chapter. It is the moment when everything the audience has been waiting for begins to unfold with greater depth and intensity. This season carries a weight unlike any before, because the story is moving closer to the moments that have been whispered about since the beginning. Every decision feels heavier. Every word carries more meaning, and every scene is filled with emotions that will stay with you long after the episode ends. The characters you have walked with for years are no longer the same. They have grown, they have stumbled, they have faced storms that tested their faith and their friendships. Season 5 brings them to new crossroads where choices are not simple, and the cost of each step feels greater than ever. You will see loyalty tested, bonds strained, and courage rise in places you never expected. This season is also filled with scale and vision. The settings are larger, the conflicts are sharper, and the pace is relentless. Yet it never loses its heart. At its core, The Chosen has always been about the personal, the glance of a disciple, the hesitation in a prayer, the tears of someone who does not know what tomorrow will bring. Season 5 leans into that intimacy while placing it against events that are larger than life. That combination creates a tension that grips you from the very first scene. What makes Season 5 stand out is how it balances the familiar with the new. You will recognize the warmth and humanity that made you fall in love with the series, but you will also be pulled into moments that feel unlike anything seen before. There are conversations that will break your heart, miracles that will leave you speechless, and sacrifices that will remind you why this story matters so deeply. Every frame feels like it was crafted to carry both beauty and weight. The quiet scenes invite you to lean closer, while the dramatic ones hold you on the edge of your seat. And through it all, the guiding themes remain clear: faith in the darkest hours, love in the face of betrayal, and hope even when the world feels uncertain. Season 5 promises not just to continue the journey but to elevate it. It is not simply about telling the next part of the story. It is about preparing you for the moments that will define the series forever. For those who have followed since the beginning, this season feels like a reward. For those discovering it now, it feels like the perfect time to join in. Either way, it is an experience that demands your full attention and your full heart. The moment the announcement was made that Season 5 would be free, the reaction was immediate and overwhelming. Social media lit up with excitement, hashtags began trending within hours, and fans from every corner of the globe began sharing their joy. Some called it the most generous gift a series has ever given to its audience. Others said it felt like being part of history, as if they were witnessing something larger than a television release. The voices were united in one message: gratitude. For longtime fans, this moment was deeply personal. They remembered when the series was small, when every new episode felt like a risk, and every milestone was celebrated like a miracle. 2. See it grow into a worldwide movement and still remain free felt like a victory shared with everyone who supported it. For new viewers, it was an invitation, a wide open door into a story that so many had spoken about, but not everyone had been able to watch. Now there were no excuses, no restrictions, just access for all. The cultural impact is impossible to ignore. In churches, families planned viewing nights. In classrooms, teachers spoke about it as an example of storytelling that inspires rather than divides. In online groups, people who had never met before shared their emotions after watching episodes, finding community in the process. The show became more than just scenes on a screen. It became a conversation across borders, uniting voices that might never have crossed paths otherwise. What makes these reactions powerful is how genuine they are. People are not only celebrating the free release, they are celebrating the meaning behind it. They see a show that values its audience more than profit. They see creators who put trust in the viewers to carry the story forward. And in a world where entertainment often feels disposable, The Chosen has proven that it can be timeless by treating its audience with respect and openness. Season 5 has sparked a wave of inspiration. Artists are creating fan posters, musicians are writing songs inspired by scenes, and communities are using episodes as a way to start conversations about faith, hope, and love. The reach of the series is no longer limited to the screen. It is spilling into culture, into art, into daily life. That is what makes it different. It is not simply watched, it is lived. The fan reactions and cultural impact show that The Chosen is no longer just a series, it is a movement that crosses languages, traditions, and boundaries, a movement that reminds us that when a story is shared freely and with heart, it has the power to transform not just an audience, but the world around it. Now the choice is in your hands. Season 5 of The Chosen is not waiting behind barriers or hidden behind paywalls. It is ready for you right now, free and open for everyone. All you need to do is press play and step into the story. This is the moment where you stop hearing about it from others and begin experiencing it for yourself. Think about what it means to share this news. By telling your friends and your family that Season 5 is free, you are not only inviting them to watch a show, you are inviting them into a global community, a community that grows stronger with every new viewer who sits down to take part in the journey. Each person who joins adds another voice to the chorus of reactions, another set of eyes to witness the story, another heart to carry its message forward. This is not just about entertainment, it is about impact. When you share the news, you are helping to spread a story that has already touched millions. You are ensuring that the themes of hope, faith, and love reach beyond borders and into places where they are needed most. Every share, every word of mouth, every recommendation becomes a ripple that travels further than you may ever see. So here is the call to action. Watch Season 5 today. Share it with someone who needs encouragement. Gather with your family or community and make it a shared experience. Do not let this moment pass quietly. This is a season that deserves to be felt together, discussed together, and remembered together. And as we close, let the message echo clearly. The Chosen is not just a series, it is a movement that has proven the strength of generosity, the power of faith, and the beauty of unity. Season 5 is here, free for everyone, and it carries the same heart that made the first season unforgettable. This is your invitation to witness it, to feel it, and to pass it on. So open your screen, press play, and let yourself be drawn once again into the story that has changed lives across the world. The Chosen Season 5 is not simply released, it is given as a gift, and now that gift belongs to you. Every story has an ending, but some endings feel more like beginnings. The Chosen Season 5 is one of those moments. This release is not just another chapter in a series. It is a declaration that stories still have the power to bring people together, to inspire them, and to remind them of what truly matters. As the credits roll on each episode, you are not simply finishing a show. You are becoming part of something that will last far beyond the screen. You carry the conversations, the emotions, and the lessons into your daily life. You remember the faces of the characters, their struggles, their triumphs, and you realize that their story mirrors something inside your own. That is what gives The Chosen its power. The final word is simple but profound. You are not alone in watching this season. Millions are sitting with you, across countries, across languages, across time zones. They are feeling the same emotions, asking the same questions, and finding the same sense of hope. Together, you are part of a movement that has proven that generosity and storytelling can walk hand in hand. So take this gift and let it inspire you. Do not keep it to yourself. Share it, discuss it, and pass it on. Because the true success of The Chosen is not measured in ratings or profits. It is measured in the lives it touches. Every viewer adds to that impact, and now you are one of them. Let this be the moment you remember. The moment when you realize that a story could cross every barrier and reach every heart. The Chosen Season 5 is free, it is alive, and it is waiting for you to embrace it fully. And as we close this journey, remember this truth. Stories are not bound by screens. They live in the hearts of those who hear them. The Chosen is now in your hands, and what you do with it is part of its legacy. Press play, feel the weight of each scene, and let the message echo within you. The gift has been given, the season is here, and the story is yours to carry forward.